Hi, brothers and sisters. I wanted to share some edification to you guys this morning. It is, I believe, July 28th on a Monday morning. Good morning, and I pray that your week, that you'd put the full armor of God on each and every day, and that you would stand strong in the truth, and that you would know who your enemy is. Because we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but by spiritual principalities and dominions and all of the above. Okay, so my daughter. So I wanted to share something with you this morning. You're looking at something that we planted, a sunflower, some seeds 2 months ago. And what had happened was, well, first of all, I always used to plant sunflowers all the time, and I would plant from seed. I wouldn't plant, the actual flower into the ground. I would always just plant the seeds. And for some reason this year, I just didn't feel like planting really anything, to be honest. I don't know. But this is a tall flower. This flower is a little bit shorter than me, maybe about this much shorter than me, but it's pretty tall. Okay, probably because it's in a pot raised up. I have it raised up. But the sunflowers that I used to plant would grow super duper tall. Like, they would grow super duper tall. I've even grown sunflowers that was tall as my trailer. And this in particular seed that my children and I, that my children helped me plant, we seeded this up 2 months ago. Now, if you guys know anything about sunflowers, sunflower seeds, they pop out within a couple of days, the buddings, and they grow within 2 weeks. This took over 2 months, this seed. I have never grown this type of seed to where the seed took well over 2 months. These seeds went through a hurricane, major thunderstorms, major storms, everything, right? So within the month, I was about to give up, and I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to, I was going to dig it up after a month. And Jesus said, don't do that. And I said, okay. So I didn't dig it up. So then a couple of weeks after that, it's almost been 2 months. So a couple of weeks after that, let's see if I can show you up close. A couple of weeks after that, it bloomed. It bloomed yesterday. And one of my children, Alyssa, she came running in. It bloomed, it finally bloomed. So we ran outside, and here it is. And I guess the whole point of the story is, it goes with our Christian walk. Like, we are all growing in Christ Jesus. Jesus is our workmanship. I mean, he works in us, right? So he works in each and every Christian's life. And so we are his workmanship, And what it is we all grow at different rates at different times. We all learn lessons in different times in our lives. And just because one Christian is on one level doesn't mean that the other Christian is not a Christian. And there's a lot of, self-righteous hypocrites and that think that they're better than another Christian, or etc., etc. But I'm here to say that do not underestimate, because we prayed over these seeds and we had faith over it, and it bloomed. I was starting to doubt, and that's one thing in our Christian walk. We're not to doubt. We are to just have faith about everything. Without faith, you cannot please the Lord. And so just because something seems like it's not growing, or it's not prospering or anything like that, doesn't mean that it's not working beneath the soil. And so Jesus is working in all his children's lives. And so we're not to doubt, and so we're not to judge either. I'm not talking about if someone is in full-blown sin for over 20 years, then yeah, you'd have to say, well, what's really going on? I'm talking about if a Christian is not growing like you are growing in Christ Jesus, doesn't mean that they're not growing and learning lessons in their own way. Yes, baby.
Can I touch this over there?
And so yeah, so
Mom, it's half eaten.
I know, it has bugs all over it. But and look how strong it is. This went through a hurricane, and even though, well, don't be careful with it. Okay. And even though it lasted through major thunderstorms and a hurricane and all these different things, it went through a lot to produce this. It went through a lot of persecution, a lot of trials, just to produce this beautiful flower. So anyway, Christians, we all grow at different rates and in different times in our life, and we all start differently. We're all saved the same. I always say we're all saved the same by God's power, only by the blood. But it's where we were saved in our life is how we grow, and we all grow differently at different rates. And it's okay, because Jesus is there to lift us up. I love sunflowers. It reminds me of the sun. It faces the sun only. It doesn't, it just follows the sun. So, and it literally does. It faces the sun. When the sun comes out, it moves its face towards the sun. So I just want to edify y'all this morning, but love you.